How's it going, guys? Jake here, and today I'm going to be doing part 2 of the Industrialcraft 2 mod review series. Now we got some new things I'm going to go over, got some new items, armor, agriculture, some energy, and then finally some tools. And now for part 3 or 4, however long the series is, this is a little sneak peek for those parts because this is me failing to understand how a nuclear reactor works. So yeah. I still am trying to figure that out. So besides for that, we're now going to move into this first chest here of some new items that you're going to need. Now, before I do that, if you have not seen part 1, you need to see it. Otherwise, you'll have no idea what some of these items are, what they do, or how to make them. And I go over all that basic stuff in the first part. But let's go into some new items. Now, starting with the reinforced glass. To make this is just going to be an H of glass in the crafting table and some advanced alloys. Now, a quick refresher, this is made with a mixed metal ingot. Then we got raw carbon fiber. Now to make this, you're going to take 4 coal dust, very simple. Then to make carbon fiber mesh, we're going to take 2 of those carbon fiber. And then a carbon plate, we're going to take that mesh and put it in a compressor. Then we got some heat exchangers, starting with the small one. All you're going to need is an electronic circuit, 3 tin plates, and 5 copper plates. Next we have a reactor heat exchanger. Now this is taking the tier 1 and surrounding it with copper. Then we have a component heat exchanger, and this is taking the tier 2 and putting 4 gold plates around it. Then we have an advanced heat exchanger. Now this is taking a copper plate, 2 of the tier 2 heat exchangers, 4 lapis lazuli plates, and 2 electronic circuits. And then finally we have a Labotron crystal. That's how you pronounce that. And now this is 2 advanced circuits, an energy crystal, and 6 lapis lazuli dust. Now an energy crystal is just 9 energium dust. Energium. I don't what. So with those items out of the way, now we're going to move on to some armor. So there's several different types of armors or cool gadgets that are added into your world, starting with a very basic bronze set of armor. Now this, I believe, is around the same strength of iron. So if you want to make this out of bronze, you just make it the same way that you would any other set of armor, and it's very simple. Next we have this hazmat suit. Now to make the helmet, we're going to take an orange dye, a glass, an iron bar, and 4 rubber. To make the main part of the suit, we're going to do 6 rubber and 2 orange dye. To make the leggings, it's another 6 rubber and only 1 orange dye. And to make the rubber boots, it's another 6 rubber with any type of wool down at the bottom. Now, these rubber boots supposedly will take away a little bit of fall damage, but if you're wearing this suit all together, then it will protect you from catching on fire, lava, and then some radiation and other effects. And the radiation I'll get to later when we go over the nuclear reactors and all that. But if you also have compressed air canisters in your inventory, this scuba helmet will automatically refresh your breath bar, you know, the bubbles that will appear above your hunger, if you have those canisters in your inventory. So, you know, you can breathe underwater a little bit more with this set if you're wearing the scuba helmet. Next, to make the backpack, all you have to do is take a electronic circuit, any type of wooden planks, and 6 RE batteries. To make the advanced backpack, all you have to do is take 6 advanced RE batteries, electronic circuit, and a copper item casing. And to make the energy pack, you need to take 2 advanced circuits, 4 iron item casing, and 2 energy crystals. And now how these work is when they are in your chest slot, where the hazmat suit or the chest plate would go, they will recharge any chargeable items in your inventory. If you had an electric wrench or something like that, it will recharge that. Of course, it has a certain amount of storage capacity. As you can see, it keeps going up. So it's got 60,000, 600,000, and then 2 million EU, which is energy units per tick. So once those run out, of course, you just recharge them, and then they're good to go again. And then next we have some jetpacks. Now we have a normal jetpack, and this will use a certain type of fuel. And you're going to need 4 iron item casings, 2 redstone, a universal fluid cell that's empty, and electronic circuit. Then to make the electric jetpack, you're going to take a bat box, 2 glowstone dust, 4 iron item casings, and an advanced circuit. So for the electric jetpack, it's pretty easy to figure out. All you have to do is charge it up. But for the normal jetpack, it takes a couple different machines you can recharge it in, or refuel it as it takes biofuel, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Next we have some night vision goggles. Now to make this, you're going to take 2 of those advanced heat exchangers, an advanced RE battery, 2 illuminators, 2 pieces of rubber, reinforced glass, and advanced circuit. Now to make a illuminator, all you have to do is take 2 iron item casings, and an insulated copper cable, a normal tin cable, and then 5 glass. You'll get 8 of those. And now this will pretty obviously give you night vision when you're wearing it, and you can toggle it on and off. And now if you're in the daytime like this or in a bright room or something, it will instead give you blindness when you're wearing them. And now you can turn them on and off, and now to do so, you need to go to your controls. And now there are 5 controls that the mod adds, so very simple. And the Alt key, you'll see that you'll have to press this with another key. Usually usually like the hub expand key. You're going to have to press that at the same time to turn things on. But for the night vision goggles, you need to press this mode switch key here. So you can make it whatever you want as long as it doesn't interfere with, whatever else. And so you're going to press that with your Alt Command key to turn on the headset. So that's what you need to do for the night vision goggles. Next we have the composite vest, and now to make this you're going to take a leather tunic, iron chestplate, and 6 advanced alloys. Now this is basically iron chestplate, except it has a durability that is much greater than diamond, so that's another piece of armor if you'd like it. Next we have static boots, and now this is 4 iron ingots, any type of wool, and then 3 insulated copper cables. And now these are very interesting. When you run with them across the ground, every 5 blocks you run is 1 EU it'll charge to what's ever in your inventory, or most specifically what's in your hand. So I can't show you necessarily how these work because a basic tool will require thousands of EU, so you're gonna have to be walking around for quite a long time to even get a very small amount of energy that you would use in a tool. But it's a small boost, and that's basically the same thing that the solar helmet does. Now to make this you're going to take 5 iron ingots, 3 insulated copper cables, and a solar panel of tier 1. And now this, whenever you're wearing it, if the sky is above you, now it doesn't have to be daytime, it can be at night, but as long as the sky is above you, it will produce 1 EU every tick. So it is works a little bit faster than these static boots, but yeah, these will just very, very slowly charge anything that is in your inventory, but still a nice little boost. Next, we have 2 very strong sets of armor. We have the nano suit and the quantum suit. Now this nano set of armor is basically the diamond equivalent, except it is in energy form, basically. So these will never be destroyed. All they have to do is be recharged, and if there's charge in them, they will absorb damage, and they can do some other cool effects like get rid of certain effects that are on you, and stuff like that. But the nano helmet, to make it, you're going to take one of those energy crystals, 4 carbon plates, and those night vision goggles. The body armor, you're going to take an energy crystal and surround it with those carbon plates. Then we've got a nano suit pants, and it's the same normal pants, except you're going to place the energy crystal at the top. And then for the boots, you're going to place the carbon plates as such, and then the energy crystal. So that's pretty much it for the nano suit, but this quantum suit is unbelievably powerful. It basically makes you invincible, as it removes a ton of different effects. It makes you immune to being set on fire. It will absorb basically all the incoming damage when you get attacked, as long as there's a charge in it. And it is just, it's amazing, but it is unbelievably expensive to make. Starting off with the quantum suit helmet, to make this you're going to need to take 2 reinforced glass, 2 iridium reinforced plates, 2 advanced circuits, a scuba helmet, 1 of those Lapotron crystals, and a nano suit helmet. Now to make the iridium plates, all you need to do is take a diamond, and then advanced alloys and iridium ore on the outside. Now this is very rare ore. As you can see, they've changed the name to blue to symbolize how rare it is. To make the body armor, all you need to do is take 4 of those iridium reinforced plates, 2 advanced alloys, 1 of those nanosuit body armor, a Lapotron crystal, and then 1 of those electric jetpacks. Now to make the quantum suit, all you need to do is take 1 of those nanosuits with a Lapotron crystal, 2 basic machine casings, 2 iridium force plates, and then a glowstone dust. Now to make the quantum suit boots, all you need to do is take 2 rubber boots, 1 Lapotron crystal, 1 of those nanosuit boots, and then 2 iridium force plates. So mainly this is unbelievably rare or hard to get or expensive because of those iridium ores that you have to make this out of. But yeah, whoa, it's nighttime. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for the armor. This is what is added into your world that you can use. Next, we have agriculture. Now this, it's pretty interesting. We're going to start off with crop. Now to make this, it's just simply 4 sticks, and you'll get 2 of these. This is what you're going to plant crops in. Then we have a weeding trowel, and now to make this, it's 4 iron ingots, 2 rubber. We have an electric hoe, which is 3 iron plates and 1 of those small power units. And then we have a crop analyzer, and to make this, it is 2 insulated copper cables, 4 redstone, a glass, and electronic circuit. Then we have a crop harvester. To make this, it's 2 electronic circuits, a chest, 2 shears, 3 of those crops, and a basic machine casing. To make the Cropmatron, it's 2 electronic circuits, a chest, a basic machine casing, 2 universal fluid cells, and 3 crops. Then we have some grin powder. And to make grin, it's simply a spider eye in a macerator, and you'll get 2 of those. And you're going to use that powder to make a Weed X universal fluid cell by taking a redstone, 1 of those grin powders, and putting it in 1 of those empty fluid cells. Next we have some fertilizer, and now to make scrap, all you do is take basically anything as plants, wool, and just put it in a recycler, and you'll see that you get scrap. Now to make fertilizer, all you do is take that with some bone meal to get 2 of those. Next we have an empty booze barrel. Now this is any type of wooden planks on top and bottom with a rubber wood in the middle. and then a scaffold. Now this is 3 of any type of wood planks, and then 3 sticks, and you'll get 4 of those. Now this is what you would contain beer in or ferment beer in, and that I don't believe is in the mod right now, and it would come in later. But besides that, we got this last couple stuff down here. Now this I'll get to in just a second. As you can see, we got some different types of coffees, which will come from coffee powder and beans, except these 3 plants, the taro wort, the coffee beans, and the hops. Now these 3 plants right here are crossbred, and so they're used for special things, and they take a little bit longer to make and all that stuff. But I'll show you how to set up crossbreeding and all that stuff in a little bit of an example that I have behind me. So this is a quick demonstration of how this stuff works, and these are what the booze bros look like if you place them on top of one of those scaffolding things. So you're basically going to do the exact same farming stuff that you normally do, and this is not an efficient way to do this. This is just a quick demonstration, as you can see when I'm standing here. And then you're going to take your crops and you're going to place them down on the already hoed dirt. As you can see, that's what they look like. It's kind of confusing that that's what those sticks are called. They're called crops. But this is what wheat would normally look like, but this is instead what it looks like if it's placed on one of those crops. And these are potatoes and these are carrots. Now, I have not planted anything in these other 2, but they already have stuff in them because those are weeds, and that's where you need to use a weeding trowel, what I went over, in order to be able to get those out. As you can see, now I have a couple weeds here, and I don't really want those. Now, those weeds will spawn in any crops that are empty, so if there's a plant in them, the weeds won't be there. But if you let a weed grow in one of the crops, and there are plants adjacent, then it will spread to the other crops, and it will destroy them. It will damage the plants that are in there, so that's why you need to take care of those weeds. And then also a tool that I'm going to go over is the electric hoe, and it's basically just a hoe that just needs to be charged. As you can see, that's what you do to get all of the dirt hoed. Next we have our machines. Now in the middle we have the crop harvester, on the outside we have the crop matrons. And now with the crop matron, you're going to power it using redstone. Very interesting, but as you can see, there's the power storage that's going down, and it is spreading the weed X, which pretty obviously is what's going to try to prevent all of those weeds from spawning in empty crops or overtaking your healthy crops. And so you're going to power it with redstone there. You can see your empty fluid cells come here. And then on this side, you're going to place down your fertilizer. And now fertilizer helps your plants grow faster and give you more stuff when you were to cut them down or harvest them when they're fully grown. So you can see I have 2 of those up. This one's spreading the fertilizer out. And now in the middle, I have the crop harvester. Now these will only take the normal RE batteries. It won't take any of the advanced or big stuff. So you're either going to have to just connect any type of wire to this to power it, or place these small batteries in there. But with this, you can put the crop analyzer in here, and this will help this crop harvester know when to harvest a potato, because a potato, if it's stayed in the soil too long, it then can become a poisonous potato. So this will help you make sure that your crops won't become rotten or anything like one of those poisonous potatoes. Something else that you can also do with the crop analyzer is you can take it and you can right click on any crop you have, and as you can see, it'll tell you the crop size, its nutrient storage, water storage, and its weed X storage as well. So it tells you what it's using, how far it is growing, and all of that type of stuff. So it is, well, just a crop analyzer. And then in here, it's got a very small storage spot, but this is where it's going to harvest your crops. Now, this machine will harvest plants that are in a 5x5 radius around it. So on each side of the machine, there will be 5 blocks, and in that big square, that's what it'll harvest, and it'll go up 3 blocks as well. And these crop matrons, I believe they spread it out in a 9x9 area, and then 1 block vertically. So yeah, that's the radius of those machines. In this crop harvester, you can connect it with hoppers or use an extractor upgrade, which I believe goes in this slot down here. That'll allow you to put it into a larger storage area, go into a system that'll put it into a chest, whatever. But that is where you can get creative and figure out how to put this and get all this stuff working efficiently, and it'll automatically plant all that type of stuff. So the reason why this wheat right here was not picked up, but this potato over here was, as you can see, is because this was not placed in one of these crops like these plants right here are. And as I said, the crops are the things that hinder you from using bone meal, but crops are the only things that weeds will grow in. As you can see, weeds haven't been growing over there at all, but weeds did grow in these crops that I've set down there. So I could use bone meal on this plant over here, but at the same time, if I don't place that plant in this, then it's also not getting the effects of this weed X and this fertilizer that I'm setting out. And then on top of that, you don't have to place universal fluid cells that are full of weed X in here like this. You could also just pump it in using any normal pipes, and I'll probably get to a couple of those in some later episodes. And now we have crossbreeding. Now to make this, all I had to do was place a crop and then another crop on top of it like that. Very simple. And now, as you can see, I have 2 sugar canes on the side. And now once these grow, they'll then kind of mix or start moving into this. And then once this grows, it'll be a stick reed. Now, if you do the same and put 2 stick reeds over here, you'll then get a farro. And then if you put 2 farros, you'll then get coffee beans. To make coffee powder, all you have to do is take those beans and put it in a macerator. You'll get 3 coffee powder. And then to make a stone mug, you're going to take 7 of dorite. It could be polished, andesite, granite, stone, all that type of stuff to get a stone mug. Then to make cold coffee, you're going to take that coffee powder, that stone mug, a water bucket or a fluid cell that's filled with water to get normal cold coffee. Then to get dark coffee, you're going to take that cold coffee, place it in a furnace or anything that smelts. And then to make normal coffee, you're going to take that dark coffee with sugar and milk. And now this coffee, it will give you, I believe, a 22% increase in walking speed, and then a 33% increase in mining speed, also known as haste. And so, yeah, oh, it's dark again. Then we have 2 different things here that you can also crossbreed. We have hops. Now, this is what you'd use to make beer. Now, I haven't been able to find basically any beer substance into the game, but this is what you would place in that booze barrel to make beer. And so I'll let you guys know in the description or comment down below or something like that if I figure out how to make beer out of this, and I'll let you guys know. But to crossbreed this, you're either going to take stick reeds, 2 stick reeds, 2 nether warts, or a nether wart and a stick reed. So pretty easy to make. But then we also have taro warts. Now this is a very special crop, and now this will be made by crossbreeding nether warts on snow blocks. And now these can be eaten like normal food, and when it's consumed, it will remove all negative potion effects. But unlike milk, it will leave the positive ones unchanged. So it is very, very useful. Then on top of that, it will also stack to 64. Unlike just a normal milk bucket. So very useful. But yeah, that is pretty much it for a very basic look at farming. Next, I'm going to go over some energy machines that are also added into your world. Now, we're going to start off with the bat box, which is a power tier 1. But there are 4 tiers of power. You can see you got tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. Same with charging pads. And now, the different tiers are used for different things. For example, this nano suit that I went over, this is a tier 3 set of armor, meaning that you cannot even put this in a charging slot in these first 2 power tiers. You have to use a power tier 3 or 4. And then also different things come into play where, you know, if I were to take a power tier 1 box and then use like a power tier 3 transfer unit to put energy into this tier 1 box, this tier 1 box would explode. So be careful on how you transfer energy back and forth between different tiers. And that's why I'll get into these transformers here in a little bit as they help you to try to avoid those explosions that could happen. But we're going to start off with tier 1 of the bat box and its charger. Now to make the bat box, you're going to need 5 of any type of planks, 3 RE batteries, and an insulated tin cable. To make the charging pad, all you need is 2 electronic circuits, a stone pressure plate, 2 rubber, and the bat box itself. Now for tier 2 of the CESU, all you need to do is take 5 bronze plates, 3 advanced RE batteries, and an insulated copper cable. And then to make the charging pad, all you need is 2 electronic circuits, stone pressure plate, 2 rubber, and then the CESU itself. Now for the MFE, all you need is 4 times 2 insulated gold cables, then 4 energy crystals, and then a basic machine casting. And for the charging pad, all you have to do is make the same recipe except put the MFE at the bottom instead. And now for the MFSU, all you need is 6 Lapotron crystals, an advanced machine casing, an MFE, and an advanced circuit. Now for the charge pad, it's the exact same, except the MFSU is at the bottom. Now for these transformers, we have the LV transformer, and this is 6 of any type of wood with 2 insulated tin cables and a coil. For the MV transformer, we need 2 insulated copper cables and a basic machine casting. And for the HV transformer, we need an advanced RE battery, an electronic circuit, an MV transformer, and 2 times 2 insulated gold cables. And then finally, for the EV transformer, all we need is a Lepotron crystal, an advanced circuit, an HV transformer, and a 2 times 3 insulated HV cables. And I don't know if I've gone over the HV cable, but it's pretty easy to make. For the insulated, all you have to do is just put 3 rubber, as I went over in the last mod review. But if you're wanting to make the HV cable, all you need is a metal former and put an iron ingot in it. So it's not that expensive, and you get 4 of those. So pretty easy to make that stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the tier 3 stuff, because the tier 1, tier 2, and the tier 4, they're all the same. They just store different things. This is 300,000. This is 40 million. Whoa. They're all the same, so I'm just going to use the power 3 because that's what's required, at least the minimum, for this nanosuit stuff here. So I'm going to start off with just the regular storage block. Now I'm in creative, so I have this that's already pre-charged, but this is basically what the storage block is. It allows you to hold a bunch of energy in a block, and then you can access it just by, or input it into this just by connecting it to any side of this block, except right here, this is the output. And so this, you can place it to another machine to power it or whatever. So I've grabbed a couple more things just to give a quick demonstration of this. So as you can see, it's down just a very small tad in power level. So I'm going to go ahead and place a generator here and put coal in the generator. So now it is making electricity. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect these, and as you can see, it immediately filled it back up. So that shows that any side of this block can service as an import to put energy into this block here. But if I were to take this and kind of place a little cable over here and then place this to a thermal centrifuge, now as soon as I set this down, it will explode. And that's what I was talking about when you try to use a different power tier for a different machine. So this is a tier 1 power machine, the thermal centrifuge, or even if it's not a tier 1, it's at least a tier 2, which then means that this, which is a tier 3, is way too powerful for that machine, so it, well, made it explode. Now, as you can see, that's a very pathetic explosion, but it's, still going to take up your resources. As you have to make quite a few things in order to get this machine, but it is not nearly as big of an explosion as this over here, which would be from a nuclear reactor. So you can see it is very important to pay attention to this and make sure it all works with the small machines before you go to something big like that. But our next thing we're going to go over is the charging pad. And now this works the same way. All this can be, all these sides can be used as an input, and this right here is an output. But how this works is this is for you to stand on top of. So as you can see, when I'm standing on top of this, it is putting energy into me, basically. So you can see it's using energy right here. And so it's charging all of these empty or worn out nano suits that I have. So as you can see, they're all slowly filling up, and it's using quite a bit of power, because you got to remember, this is 4 million. This is a lot of power. So you can see it's all charging up, and now if I'm wearing this or whatever, it will charge this. If I have tools like a mining laser, it will charge this up as well. So very useful. You just kind of stand on here for a little while, and then all of it will get nice and charged up. And so you can have energy go out if you need to put it in. So very, very useful tool. So next we have transformers. Now transformers help you to not have your machines blow up. Now here, starting at the low end, we have the LV transformer. Now this outputs or has a low of 32 and a high of 128. The MV has a low of 128 and a high of 512. The HV transformer has a low of 512 and a high of 2048. And the EV transformer has a low of 2048 and a high of 8,192. So these are used to transfer energy or to change the amount of energy going from certain machines. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this MV transformer, and let's do the MFE here. So this thermal centrifuge, as you can see, it is a power tier 2. So I go ahead and set this down. And then I'm going to place this transformer right here in the middle, and you're going to see that it has one side with 5 dots, and it has single dots all over the other sides. So this 5 dot area is the high end, the high powered side, and all these small dots are the low powers. So if I right click on this, you can see that it can be fixed step up or step down. That was backwards. But when it's fixed down, you can see that its output is 128 energy units per tick, and its input is higher than that, as it's taking more energy into it but outputting a smaller amount, so it doesn't blow up a machine that is used for a lower tier level. But if it's fixed stuff up, then you can take a lower tier machine or storage area and use it to power a higher one, because it is now inputting a lower amount of energy and outputting a higher amount of energy. And so this difference right here is one tier or level tier. So if I come over here, and you can see that its low is 32. That 32 is what you use for a power tier 1. 128 is what you use for a power tier 2. And then it keeps going all the way up, and 8,192, I think that's higher than a tier 4. It's used for maybe some nuclear stuff. But either way, this transfer, the reason why it's at certain digits and you can't really change it at all, is because what it's changing to is nighttime. It's because what it's changing to is a different power tier. It's changing to the average of that power tier. So I'm going to go ahead and direct this to where the higher side is pointing over here, set down this MFE, and then I will have the output facing this way, and I'm going to connect all of this here, and I'm going to have this as a step down. Now, if you can see, it is now exporting power here and putting it in here. As you can see, this is now fully charged. And it did not blow this up, because if I break this, set this down, and then get rid of all this and place this right here, you can see it blows up instead. So those transformers are really useful, so you don't have to have a bunch of different machines for each different power tier level. Finally, we have some tools. Now, starting off with a bronze set of tools. Now, you make this the same way you'd make any set of tools, but I already went over the bronze set of armor at the beginning of the mod review, and this set, it's not quite a diamond level. As you can see, the bronze sword does 6 attack damage, when a diamond sword does 7 attack damage, but it is pretty good, especially, I believe it's better than iron, or at least around there. But you can see the bronze axe does 9 attack damage, so that's better than diamond sword. So, you know, it's just another set of tools for you to use. But right here we have a chainsaw. Now, to make this, you're going to need a power unit and 5 iron plates. We have an electric tree tap. Now, this is going to be a normal tree tap with a small power unit. And then we have a nano saber. And now to make this, you're going to need 2 carbon plates, an energy crystal, 2 advanced alloys, and 2 glowstone dusts. So this electric tree tap, I'm not going to take it out because it basically takes or does the same as a normal tree tap, except it's electric. And then we've got 2 very cool items right here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what these do. So I've come over here to another tree, and this chainsaw is better than the diamond axe. You can see it mines these logs very, very quickly. So that's why you'd want to go ahead and make that. But next we have a nano saber. Now this by itself just does 5 attack damage. Not that strong at all. But if you go ahead and right click, it turns into kind of a lightsaber, awesome looking sword. And now if you look over it, it does 21 attack damage. And that is ridiculous. That is like almost 3 times as strong as a diamond sword. So if I hit that guy, he is quite dead. Next we have some mining drills. Now starting with the basic one, all it takes is a power unit and 6 iron plates. Then we have a diamond drill. This is a mining drill with 3 diamonds. And then we have an iridium drill. Now this is a diamond drill with an energy crystal and 3 iridium reinforced plates. It's a little tough to say. So these are basically pickaxes. In here I'm going to go ahead and switch game modes. These are basically pickaxes, but are kind of better. So a mining drill, it kind of looks like it's about an iron speed in pickaxe. A diamond drill, that's better than diamond, I can tell you that. And then an iridium drill, as you can see, even faster than the previous one. So it's not like, you know, you're going to hit a stone piece and it's going to make a big chunk of the earth go away. It's just going to be basically a normal pickaxe, but much faster. And this one is pretty expensive, but as you can see, it is a pretty fast drill itself. Also, it is used, or can be used on many different things. As you can see, it's kind of obliterating the ground instead of having to get a shovel as a completely different tool. You can use this, so it's a multi-purpose tool. Finally, we have a mining laser. Now, to make this, you're going to need 4 advanced alloys, an advanced circuit, an energy crystal, and 2 redstone. So when this thing is charged, now you can use this to attack mobs. As you can see, if I right-click, it'll shoot this kind of laser out. So if that hits a mob, it will set them on fire and deal some damage. But this laser is pretty amazing. This beats all the tools I've showed you so far. In that when you take a little look at a place and you right-click to send that laser, it will get rid of the ground that is in front of you, as you can see like that. And now it will drop the blocks and everything, so it's not like Explosion where it might not drop every single block. This is amazing as it drops all the blocks. Now, as the longer the laser goes, the more energy it uses. As you can see, if I step up here and, you know, hit the stone, it doesn't go all the way back. As you can see, the one underneath it goes back further. So if I send more lasers, it can get rid of more blocks as there's more energy in the laser. That also applies to ores, where if that was to come across an ore like coal, from way back here, you know, if I were to hit that, you see it's not getting rid of it because the mining laser is traveling so far, it's losing the energy that it needs to get rid of that coal ore. See, as I got closer, it then was able to get rid of it. So with certain ores like copper and uranium and stuff like that, you'd have to be right up next to it in order to be to get rid of it when you right click. So it is a little iffy, but hey, it's still pretty awesome, as you can see. Finally, I wanted to show you how you use this jetpack. Now, it is pretty easy. All you have to do is hold spacebar, and you're flying. So if you want to travel great distances, and as you can see, I'm in survival mode right now, you can go up pretty high, and then very quickly you can change into your Elytra and hit space so that you then fly out like this. So a nice little strategy if you're wanting to fly across, great distances and all that stuff. See, then you go, ouch, my face. And you can also go to a hover mode with the jetpack. So if I go ahead and hold down spacebar and then hit M, you can see that hover mode is now activated. So I can fly around staying at this height. And if I press M again, it is deactivated. So you can see I can go up at insane speeds again. So if I press M, see how I kind of slowed down when I'm going up. And this can also allow you to descend slowly instead of kind of flying downwards and turning it off like such. So you can slow down right before you're landing like that. And you can see do nice little hops when you have a jetpack too. That's pretty much it of part 2 of the Industrial Craft 2 mod review. Now as you can see, it's still pretty simple, not that difficult at all, but in the upcoming parts it's going to get pretty difficult as we get into nuclear stuff and more advanced machinery. Now I'm not going to go over every single thing with the machines. I'm going to go over the crafting recipe and also kind of how you basically use it. But the creative stuff of how you're going to put it all together in whatever way to get the most effective use out of the machines, that creative section is left up to you guys to figure out. But if you have any questions or need any help with this mod, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. But for right now, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, leave a like and subscribe. And as I just said, feel free to let me know any questions you have with this mod, as I'll be glad to help since it is a very confusing mod. But I'll see you all in the next video. High five.